Hello, and welcome to my first YouTube video of 2024. It's my goal this year to get into a rhythm of making YouTube content, as long form video is typically something I have avoided with all of my heart. So please bear with me because I will get better at this. I find talking to a camera really difficult, which is probably why there's going to be so many jump cuts in this when I edit it back. My brain is constantly going at 100 miles per hour and I struggle to get what I'm thinking out in a straight line as it is. So when I'm having to do it alone to a camera, it just feels so unnatural and so forced to me that I do just end up rambling and my head goes off in tangents and I say something and I'm like, no, I could have said that better, so let's just redo it, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, the point of this video. So today I thought I would give you guys a bit of a behind the scenes look and show you how I make my Get Ready With Me content. The YouTube shorts that you're used to seeing where I'm dancing about, getting dressed, and all that jazz. So I'm going to show you how I film them, how I edit them, and yeah, give you a bit of a look into how I do this. So today this will be a little bit different because I'm actually filming an ad campaign. So if I'm filming an ad campaign in the style of a Get Ready With Me, there are a few things that I do differently in comparison to when I'm filming my everyday Get Ready With Me. So this is because of the whole legal side to making adverts. There's a lot of T's and C's that you have to make sure you abide to in order to not get in trouble. One of the main things for me when creating an ad in this particular style is music. So normally when I'm doing a Get Ready With Me, I'll typically choose a song that I'm listening to. It could be a throwback song, it could be a new song that's starting to trend, but I always pick a song that you have probably heard of before. However, when doing an advert, I have to use copyright-free music. So I have a subscription to a site called Epidemic Sound, and that is where I get all my music for my adverts. Now, when trying to get copyright-free music, you do have to go through quite a lot of stock music, which typically isn't my vibe and isn't really something I want to dance and twerk to, if I'm being honest with you. So it does take a while, but Epidemic Sounds do, in my opinion, have kind of the best selection of songs that you probably could hear on the radio. So you just have to do a bit of digging and spend a bit of time finding the right music. So it does take me a little bit longer to find the right song to do these videos, but it also takes me a little bit longer to edit them. Normally when I film my Get Ready With Me, I am filming it in my social media apps. It's just a lot quicker, I'm able to make the cuts quicker, and I get to use the timer feature and all these things. So it really helps speed up the process, but also helps me make sure I'm lip syncing to the right parts, that my moves are on beat with the right part, all this stuff. But today, because I am using copyrighted music, it means I'm gonna have to play the music out from my computer and dance to it on camera, and then take that footage into the edit and sync it all up and hope that I've got everything right. So one thing I do now that really helps me when making these videos is I film and edit at the same time. The reason I do this is to avoid having to do reshoots. With this type of video, the whole thing for me is that the camera doesn't move. So you see me moving about the frame, jumping from here to there, doing my different dance moves everywhere. But the camera frame never moves, because if it does, I just find it very distracting and a bit unprofessional. So with something like this, I need to make sure that I'm getting everything I need for that edit on the spot, and you can't always preempt that without taking it into edit. So you'll see that what I typically do is I'll film one section of the song and one section of the styling. I will then airdrop it over to my computer, quickly throw it in, do a very rough edit. I don't have to do it perfect and do anything extra. And then I know I can film from that bit on. I know exactly where I've ended, so I know where to begin in the next clip. And I'll just keep doing that until I've got a rough cut. That was probably a bigger intro than I wanted it to be, but there was a lot of points to get out. So now I'm gonna get into the preparation for this video, and the first step is to clear my background. There's not much mess day to day, as I do try to tidy up as I go along, but the main thing is that Milo's toys are always everywhere because he takes them all out of his toy basket and just drops them around the house. So I need to put away his toys. I also need to make sure the background is safe for an ad. And what I mean by that is making sure that there's no obvious brand names or affiliations to brands, such as Milo's Giant Peach. So she's gotta go. Okay, now that everything's a little bit more tidy, I need to get my dance space set up. Every time I have a friend or family member over for the first time, they're always so surprised at how small this space actually is, because in my videos it does look like there's a lot more space for me to dance and move, but there's really not. Like, this is all the space I have. I've just had to find a way to really contain my body movements and make use of the space. So one of the biggest things I did when buying furniture for this space in particular was buy everything on wheels, just so that I have the room I need to move things. And there we go. plenty of room. Okay, so before I film, I need to get my song and put it into my timeline. So this is the song I think I'm going to use today. It doesn't have many lyrics, but that beat was made for twerking on a window. So that is why I'm using this song purely. It's called Leche by House of Say. So I just download that song and then jump on over to Premiere Pro and add that in. I edit everything in Premiere Pro, and I know that that is technically the more complicated editing software in comparison to things like Final Cut Pro, which are made to be a lot more like user-friendly. But I actually did a film degree at university and taught myself how to use Premiere Pro back then because it was the more professional option. Old habits die hard. Once the song is in, I will go through it and select the 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, however long that video has to be. I will select that part of the music that I like and drop it into my timeline. Okay, so I've got my 15 seconds on the timeline. Now what I'm going to do is stretch it out a bit so I can kind of give myself a 3-second timer. And then when I'm filming, I always use the loop playback feature. This allows me to select a part of the timeline that will play on loop. That way I'll be able to do multiple takes of my dance move in one go rather than having to film, come back to the computer, reset, go back. It's just a continuous loop, so I can just keep doing it over and over again until I feel like I've got it right. Now I just need to go get the clothes and we're good to go. So this is my filming setup. I do film most things on my iPhone 14 Pro. And so I just have my camera here on a tripod. And then above it I have my very bright light. And that's that, nice and simple. Okay, so this is the item of clothing that the brand I'm working for has sent over. It is a shirt dress. Thankfully this brand are really cool and they allow me to style this with pieces from my wardrobe already. The only caveat is that I need to make sure I'm not wearing anything that's got a massive logo in front of it. But to me that is just common sense because this needs to be the standout realistically. So before filming I've already styled this so that I know exactly what it is that I'm going to be putting on throughout the video, and so I know what my final look is going to be like. So I don't really need to do that with you guys right now. You will see very shortly the outfit come together. So I'm going to go change and then I'll be back. Okay, so I am now ready to film. So take one, let's go. So there we go, that should hopefully be the intro of the video. I'm now going to drop it over to my computer, sync it up with the timeline and see if I like it. So here we go, I have synced it up, I'm happy with it, and this is the first bit. So now we move on to the next bit. And now I'm going to just try as hard as I can to twerk on the window without flashing everything. So, let's hope for the best. Okay, so by some miracle I managed to cut it just before the dress dropped down and revealed everything, because I'm not doing that again. Like, my neighbours are very used to seeing me twerk in the window at this point, but I feel like a line would be drawn if I'm caught twerking in my underwear on that window. So we're going to leave that at that and carry on. A neighbour I've never seen before 100% just walked past and stared through the window right as I was twerking, so love that for me. So now I'm going to add a belt to kind of like cinch the waist in a little bit, I think, and give it a bit of structure. Now we're going to add the boots. Okay, so I'm finishing the look off with this silver chain and this bucket hat. Here's the chain close up. And bucket hat. And I think that's the look. I think I'm done with the look. Can you see it all if I stand this far back? and we are done. That is the end of filming. So that is how I make my get ready with me videos. I hope this has been interesting. Like, I hope this hasn't been really boring, and I hope you enjoyed getting to see a little bit of the behind the scenes action. I'm now going to go and finish editing this off properly, and then I will send it off to the client, and once it's approved, that video will go out, and I guess this video will go out at the same time, seeing as it is the making of type thing. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of this video, it's my goal this year to be more frequent with making long form videos on YouTube. So I would really appreciate it if you guys let me know what it is that you would like to see from me. What type of content, you know, what questions do you want answered in video form? And yeah, just an idea of what it is that you're interested in. Because as much as it's fun for me to make these, I don't want to make them alone. I want to make them with you guys. I want to make things that you guys will enjoy and that you want to know. And yeah, I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing your interests when sharing some of mine, you know? So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.